I don't want nobody else to hear the sound. This love is a private affair. Interrupt the flow, no, then better not dare. Got to break it all down. In the daytime, I think not. I'd rather do you after school like some homework. Uh, am I getting you in my bedroom? Cause then we have to stop. I don't feel fast asleep and do it in the kitchen on the table. Got to break it on. Break it down. I don't want nobody else to hear the sound. This love is a private affair. Interrupt the flow, no, they better not dare. Got to break it on down. Can you hear me? Got to break it on down. Yeah, the lights. No, I don't think so. Crackle of the flame will just spoil the flow. Besides, I can be your fire, baby. Tripping all over like the ball of the black spin, like the leg. Oh, break it down. Nobody else to hear. Side. Break it up down. All the things I got to break it all down. Break it down, baby. Get to work, baby. So what you here to do? I know you got something special on your mind. Is that true? Yeah. I'm here to do work, baby. And I want to do it with you. You say you want to slow down. Then listen up, girl. I want to whisper music in your ear that'll rock your world. What's my name, love? I'll ask you again and again and again. What's my name, baby? Nobody will know. But yeah, let's break it on time. Time. Ooh, got to break it up. If you're with this, let me hear you sing. Breaking down. Oh,
From the first moment I saw you, I knew you were the one. That night I had to call. I was until the sun came up. I got you was next. You your fate of me was I guess was I not make it just
The invisible girl who doesn't get to feel comfort because she's too busy being sister, too busy being friend, too busy being mother. He got her going half, so she never feels whole. She just always feels other. But she's been craving to feel alive. It's been raining for way too long. She can't get this out in a weekend. She need her a whole summer. She need her a break. Something a little bit more intentional than how was your day, because she never says how she really feels. You know, complaining don't pay bills. And who really listening besides God? She don't even listen to her intuition. It don't be no time to break down. She got so much shit to do. Maybe if she lucky, she'll squeeze in some time in the shower to shed a tear too. And she ain't angry. She just tired, undervalued, craving the courage to be selfish without guilt. Everybody else does it with no consideration to her, to how she feels. So to the invisible girl who doesn't get to feel no comfort, because she's too busy being sister, too busy being friend, too busy being your mother, looking for passion outside of herself. She too busy being lover, so disconnected from this world that sometimes she just lays there and she don't feel nothing. But that don't stop her from daydreaming or hopefulness or one day getting the courage to just say, fuck all this shit. I'm clocking out. So to the invisible girl who has not found her voice, I hope that you find the courage to finally find yours. Thank you.
particular reason.
It's official. It's official.
For a particular reason.
Time to put the kids to bed.
And that reason is
It's time for the full.
what it do, what it is, man, and how you feeling. See, look, you know what time it is. It's Tuesday, baby, and it's time for another great edition of the Full 180. I'm yours truly. They call me DJ TRKY. Ask why? Because I'm so magnificent. Nah, because I'm enough. That's why. That's why it's tricky. Now, man, look, I've been able to do what I do for at least 25 years in the game. Been a little bit of everywhere and everywhere been rocking. Oh, it's my baby mama. No, man, look. Okay, that's gonna be a good day. That's gonna be a good day. I see. But yeah, I've been able to do what I do for a minute, man, and I've been blessed in so many ways, man. And I just appreciate it. I've grown. I had some setbacks. I had some things I had to take back. Look at myself, put myself back together, and to make sure that I keep it real 100, as we say in these streets. Um, with you on the show, man, because this is the full 180. We try to use some of our vulnerability and transparency to let you know, man, look, before you check out, check in, check in. Before you check out, check in on yourself, reflect on yourself, do some work on yourself so you can be a bigger and better person, man. Look, I don't do it by myself, of course, so let me run it. Let me run through all the highlights. If you haven't been to it, we do R&B bingo live at karaoke at Bar Louie every Thursday night. Shout out to my sisters. Been on entertainment, Devon and Tori, and of course the lovely host, my sister star, Miss Avy. We get down at 7 p.m. We start the R&B bingo about 7:30, 7:45. This is the way it goes. All you do is when I play your artist, then if I play the song and your artist is on your bingo card, then you plot your bingo card. We're giving away cash prizes. We just gave away $100 to each winner, and it was two winners. We played 2 rounds. So, I mean, come on out, have a good time, get a couple of drinks, get you a little appetizer. It's fun. I try to take you back and I'll have a blast from the past because, as they say, we doing R&B, and right here on the Full 180, we are bringing R&B back. Not only that, we do karaoke. So after that, the second round, we flip it. And if you like to sing, because we got our own Usher. When I tell you, see Usher, not Usher, see Usher. She will sing. She was gonna sing and beat up each one of these songs. Lil Webby do her thing. But other than that, man, it is a fun and exciting time. I promise you that. So we have a good time with that. So that's R&B bingo. Of course, pregame Thursday is what we call it. We get you ready for your weekend. Make sure you come check us out. There go your karaoke, man. And let me hit you with the quote of the day. A single moment of misunderstanding is so poisonous that it makes us forget the 100 lovable moments spent together within a minute. So think about somebody you cool with. And it was just one moment, man. It just trashed the whole relationship. And you let that one moment trash at least, I don't know, 6 months worth of great moments. Man, we got to get out of that. We got to have the conversation and be able to move on. Now, if it's something that's unrepairable, I definitely understand. You got to do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, man, if you can repair it, if it's worth you fixing, reach out, be the olive branch. Now, like I said, reach out, be the olive branch, man. If it don't reach back out to you, then you already know you're good to go, so you can move on and do what you need to do. So I'll let you take that with you. I hope you feel blessed by that. Look at here. If you want to join, make sure you join on the screen. Nope, that ain't it. Oh, man, why I feel like I'm out of practice. So what you see right now is a barcode. Scan that QR code to subscribe and watch the comments. And you can comment on the show. You can also join when we get all the pings and the alerts when we're about to do our show, as well as you can see where we are individually in the actual DF Dub. So we want you to be a part of the show. We want you to share it. We want you to bring other people, and maybe they need to hear it. Maybe it's a conversation they ain't had, don't know how to have yet. Maybe it'd be a conversation starter in whatever case that they're going through or whatever the issue they're going through. So yes, man. But so I want to make sure I ran through all the preliminaries, and I don't do it by myself. Never do that. Look, it is the month of March. It is the month of March, right? So we got somebody on here. When I tell you it's March Madness, it's March Madness. I'm talking about from the 8th all the way into the 29th. It will be doing her thing. She's graduating. She's turned up for the B-Day. Not only that, she got a plethora of things going. She's gonna be your next. I'm gonna say principal. Let me go and put it out there. I'm tired of the assistant. We need all the money. Let's get all the money. Leave nothing on the table. But I promise you.
Hold on, Tricky. You see that right there?
Yeah, I seen her. I seen her talking about, yeah, I like that cosign. That's that cosign, baby.
You see it?
She does her thing.
1 and 2. 1 and
2, the principal and the assistant. I see this it right here, the principal and the assistant.
No, I'm talking about the degrees that's hanging up right there.
Degrees.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh, my bad. I apologize about them degrees. Man, okay, can we get a close up? Don't look at it. She trying to be degreed up. And we ain't talking about 360 degrees, huh? Oh, she don't. Where she go? I ain't see her. Where she go? Uh-oh, she must be doing it. She done taking them off the wall, baby. She taking them off the wall. I see you. Go ahead, lean up a little bit.
I am
The
leaning
degrees. That's what I'm talking about. Man, look, you don't give you a round of applause, because I know you've been working. You've been working. This girl been in school as long as I've known her. Boy, that's a long time. But she has did her thing. She has set an example for her daughter. She has set an example for many women of the Zeta Phi Beta, of course, the Eastern Star. She is just who she is. And it is March, so we got to do it just right for her. It's March Madness, baby.
all month long.
In these streets, they call them women, man, AKA killer. Please don't let her off the leash, because she just might bite. What's up, killer? What's happening?
Hey.
Man, look. And out of the fields comes the light. She comes from out of nowhere. Look, let me tell you something about this young lady here. Some of y'all got baby mamas. I can't say that. What we have on the show is this young lady here is not a baby mama. She has a son. What's up, nephew? And she does her thing. She's a good mother. She takes care of her business.
Get off of me.
Huh? Oh, she on mute.
He's not here. He's not here.
Oh, he's
Because
not
he's with
there?
the baby daddy.
He's with the baby daddy. Look, Webby don't like that when you say that word.
I don't
say
either.
parental.
Oh,
The non-custodial
parent.
Right, y'all done. But when I tell you, man, when I say this ain't my baby mama, when we in these streets and we hanging out, I guarantee you when the anthem come on, all you hear is, need a bad chick. Oh, well, where that bad chick? Man, look, long hair, don't care. It's what it is all day long. She say, cleaning and cooking CB.
I said cleaning that
Hey. See,
walk like a
you see her
bad
walking around the school.
Hey, Tricky, can I interject?
Of course you can. Hold on, let me do my part. Let me do my part. Because look, she said she walked like a, talk like a,
and she
look at them nails in her feet.
My
Man, look,
feet
when she walk
done
around the
too.
school, she a bad chick. Look at her. Boy, when I tell you she a bad chick, it's nothing better than your own personal baby mama. What's up, girl?
So I'm going to interject because she ain't going to do it.
Go ahead. What she ain't going to do?
She is the newest dyslexia teacher.
What?
Hey, congratulations are in order for man.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
you got a red folder too.
I got a red folder.
Okay. I see. Now you know Webby got her whole red trunk, and yeah, it ain't. Yeah, it's been through some things. It's a little bumpy.
Why I gotta have?
I'm just saying, because you do got a trunk. I seen it. I'm like, oh, that's your. Oh, okay.
That's the red folder.
She always
I
talking about CG.
I think my phone is blue, but I'm with it.
Oh, you got a whole nother color. Oh, okay, that's scary.
That's a problem.
Okay,
but I just had to give her a shout out, her flowers today. She's the new dyslexia teacher.
Okay, well, look. Well, congratulations, man. I'm definitely what's on top about. We winning out here, y'all. How y'all feel? We out here winning.
Glory
Speaking
to
of
the
winning,
Lord.
man. Hey, that's what it is. That's who we go to all the time and everything we do. Speaking of glory to the Lord, glory to the Lord for a fine piece of jewelry.
What it do, y'all?
Uh,
How y'all doing? How y'all
I tell you,
doing?
man. Look, you see how the lightning shine on the white shirt? You can't buy that at the store. You see how the edges are real? She ain't make them. They hers. If she curl it up today, it's gonna lay right there. She ain't gotta use no Gorilla Glue, no gel control. Them just her edges.
Gel
Period.
control.
Gel
Or
control.
whatever y'all be putting on y'all hair, I don't know.
Edge
Edge.
Ain't my
control.
lane. But this is none other than our homie, than our own piece of expensive jewelry. We call it JJ Jewels. What a jewel!
What it do, y'all? What it do? How y'all doing? How was y'all
Man,
week?
say
And
man,
Started.
it's still going.
I feel you.
It's
I'm trying
still
to be in
going. The
that
week is
same
still going.
lane.
Yes, Lord. But shout out to all the real teachers because after the 8th, it's Friday. It's also them kids Friday. Because we on spring break, baby. Don't
Woo!
call me. I don't want to hear about grading no papers. I don't want to hear about no PLC, no PD, no ABCs. You can keep all it for about a week. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. We can talk about it the week after. But
Mm-mm.
shout out to all my teachers, man. Shout out to my homegirl, Candace Galloway. I just found out she won Teacher of the Year out here in Cedar Hill, man. So, man, look, I've been knowing her for a long time. So I definitely got to give her a shout out. I've been knowing, man, for years. I know her husband real well. So, man, big shout out, man. Yeah, of course. Shout out to all the teachers that are doing your thing. And we getting ready to take a little break, man. I know y'all need it. No, we need it. I know we need it. So look, we ain't gonna hold back. We're gonna go ahead and get into it, right? But first, before we get into it, it's something we gotta discuss, ladies. As I told Webby, again, somebody has set y'all back at least 20 more years. With some of the foolery that be on, they say all this instant media stuff is good, but after hearing this, yeah, nah.
Okay, so y'all, story time. So y'all, please tell me if I'm wrong. So today, this dude wrote me on Instagram, and he was like, "Can I send you money? Let me send you money for lunch." So I was like, "Okay." I wrote him back, and I was like, "Send it." So he wrote me and was like, "Okay, what's your cash app?" So I sent him the cash app. Yeah, I just knew I was gonna open my cash app, and I was gonna have at least probably about 100 ball. You get what I'm saying? Because like this, I eat, and that's how much I spend on my food. Yeah, I opened my cash app, and this man sent me $30. Yeah, yes, $30, and I'm just like, at first I'm like, damn, like, am I ungrateful? Like, am I fucked up? Like, feeling like, why the fuck would you send me $30? But then I had to ask people, and they was like, nah, because I'm like, $30 is not even half a tank in my car. Like, what the fuck you thought I was gonna go to Chick-fil-A?
Lunch.
Like, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what did you think I was gonna
Who is
eat? It's
that?
like
What's it like
when
that?
I go and eat, I eat full course meals. Like I order a appetizer, a entree, and a dessert and a drink. That can't even get me two drinks. Like what the fuck? And then this man has the audacity to write me back and say, let me get to know you. That I why the fuck do you think I'm gonna let you get to know me and you just send me $30 for lunch?
All right, ladies. So I'm gonna let y'all defend this.
I
Cause
can defend that. I'm not
Because
defending
I
that
mean, this
shit.
is foolery. So if you didn't see it, let me go give you the brief synopsis. Old girl at work, old boy trying to do a good deed, show that he interested a little bit. So he reached into his pocket. Hey, let me buy you lunch. She said, okay. She thinks she's gonna get a good $100.
For lunch?
$100 for lunch. So then, where you work at? That's be my first question. Anyway, well, you got enough time to eat. Yeah,
An
$100 worth of
hour.
lunch. Yeah, you hear me? Uh, But then she got all mad because he sent him $30. And then when he said he wanted to get to know her, she was like, what? Why? For what? You sent me $30. I'm gonna hold my peace. I'm gonna let you ladies have it. Cause yeah.
I'd say Harry. What you think I got lunch? What we eating for lunch, girl?
I mean,
Cause thirty
I
dollars
mean,
can $30 gonna feed me and Lil Webby. That part.
I
The way we
mean,
eat, it's gonna feed us for 2 days. That
do
part.
that. Look,
two
see, I
days, and
like
I'm trying to
they.
have another $7 to put in my gas tank. What is y'all? Hello, somebody.
Look, hey, now you know what they say? They say you give a woman a seed, she'll make it grow.
right?
Jules, what
Hello.
you think? What you gonna do with that $30?
I could have a whole a steak dinner for that, for real. Steak lunch, steak for lunch.
Steak for lunch.
I feel like when you want somebody to pay for your attention or your time, like what you giving in return for that, first of all. Secondly, like you sound like a trick. Like I'm gonna turn tricks for the dollars. Like what?
Who is eating an appetizer, an entree, dessert, and a drink at lunch?
Wait, 2 drinks.
Who's doing that at lunch?
What kind of job
I
is
gotta
that?
have time to
Now,
heat
what
up
kind
my
of drinks
food.
are you drinking? Are you drinking beverage like a soda or like
alcoholic drink?
She want a drink.
on the job? You still on the clock, baby?
Yeah, I want to know what you doing. Where you working?
Baby, we
You must
done
work
ate
at
for
home.
baby mama, we done ate for 2 days.
I mean, I was like $30.
Like
Like,
rings and rings.
Baby, that would have lasted that for 2 people. That would have lasted 2 days.
Because they got a special and you drink the Kool-Aid.
We could have gone to takeout. Matter of fact, we could have gone to Alfonso's where they give you 2 burritos, 2 drinks for $8.99.
Went to teacher man. Hello.
oh, come on. Look, I like how he went there and talked about, let me give y'all something to make it multiply. Make it multiply.
And would have brought you some dessert after lunch.
Look. Now that's what I'm talking about. See, now look, now Jules, I'm with you now. I'm on your team. I'm on your team. She said, bring me
drink out the
something.
vending machine for $1.25.
Baby, we would have gone to Sonic for happy hour.
Hello.
That I paid 62 cents for that drink. It don't mix up, but he got that supersonic size drink.
I was like, oh, thank you, boo.
Look. See, and this is my thing. I think some of us are tough. Like when I heard that, I was like, I thought, first I was like, oh, okay. But for her to be like, first of all,
like
the whole way you look, don't say anything that you eat $100 worth of food. You look like you got about $275 worth of her in your head. So maybe that's what the $100, you got to go see the picture of it. I was like, oh, so you spend money on her, you don't spend money on nothing else. And if you spend $100 on food, I'm starting to think, so you must ain't got no kids. And you can't live with nobody. So that means you ain't got no bills. Unless you really make, now, like I said, I don't know where she worked, but if she working, she making at least over 75, I give it to her. Cool. Because see, now I know when I go out, look, I can spend $150, $200.
So you tell me she eat like that every day for lunch?
For lunch?
Every day for lunch?
Like that for lunch? I don't know.
For lunch every day?
Every day.
She
The only way you
waiter.
eat like that.
The waitresses can't eat like that.
The waitress?
Yeah.
Make it $213?
I mean,
make it $213?
Not $100 a day.
That's
it don't
crazy.
even matter what you make it. Even if you balling, who gonna spend $100 at lunch every day? Who got time for that?
Who finna sit there and eat that?
Because I be sleeping.
Now and I'm glad you said that. Cause see, I'm gonna be real with you, Chris. What's up, Black? DJ Black Guy, she already beat me to it. He said, all of that food plus a drink. Oh, she going to sleep after that. Yeah.
She ain't going back to work.
Sleep. Oh yeah. You don't know. You're not going to work. You're gonna make some work. Yeah, I'm put you in your bed. Put you in your bed. Yeah, just let you know.
$100 for lunch.
That's
$500 a week, and we ain't even had breakfast or dinner.
Come on, man. I was just like this generation. Excuse me. This generation. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't understand some of the things that are so important on the hierarchy list of certain things that they want and do. Like, there's no way we spend $100. You can't be. Everything about you says nothing no to a relationship. The way you sound, the way you talk, everything says no. And you could be a decent young lady, but your whole attitude in this whole situation does not speak. You will be a forever trick or a forever girlfriend. You ain't gonna never be nobody's wife.
She probably work at a call center, which ain't nothing wrong with call centers because I used to work one back in the day. However, why you laughing, baby?
That was a good cleanup. That was a good cleanup, dog. That was a good cleanup, dog.
I worked in Countrywide Home Loans for a long
Look,
call
look.
center.
It's just what you see. Oh, she probably working the call center. Like, don't do the people who work in the call center. It's a
Hey,
job.
no, hey, look here. I could have climbed the corporate ladder at Countrywide Home Loans.
Come
However,
on,
that was not for me.
countrywide.
Countrywide
Yeah,
Home Loans, yes,
countrywide. You
in the
ready?
loss mitigation
Lost
department.
mitigation. So that explains the red folder. Lost
No,
mitigation.
not lost. Lost. LOSS.
Oh,
Lost
okay. I'm sorry.
mitigation.
Oh, my bad. I misunderstood. I apologize. Stanley. All right, I apologize. You know, on the news, they said somebody had a Stanley Cup and it saved them from getting shot. The bullet hit the cup. And I was like, Lord have mercy. Everybody need to
But
get a
what I
bulletproof
paid
Stanley
for it, it
Cup.
better.
Lord, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. My boy say ages. Oh, sir. What up, Hodge? Hodge says, she said 30 is a lot. She said, hey, 1756 will get me a veggie burrito bowl at Chipotle. Man, you know what? Here we go. Here we go. I got
D-Lou,
it. D-Lou.
I got a question for you. 'Cause you
Uh-oh.
missed it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So basically, you finna get the Cliff Note version. You finna get the Cliff Note version. So chick met a dude. Dude say, "Hey, let me get to know you. I'm gonna send you some money for lunch." She was like, "Bet." So he sent her $30. She was like, "What I'm supposed to do with that?" Cause I eat full course meals for lunch. And we was like, yeah, boo, nobody's sending you $100 for lunch. And so me, Harris, and Jules was like, for $30, two people could have ate for 2 days. And we would
So,
have
but hold,
got the dude a Sonic drink for his dessert after
hold on, hold on.
$30.
But hold on, before he answers. Now, Webby, I need to disclaimer this. Now, I want you to remember who you asking this question to. Because D. Lou is that brother that
He probably do send $100 for
Baby,
lunch.
the sun, the rain, the moon, the sun, the mountain, I'll give
look, my
He's
brother
that
sending you
top tier
$100.
nigga.
Tell him D. Tell him D. Hold on, should I?
He sending 150 for lunch.
And get
D.
yourself
Tell him who you are.
some dinner, boo.
Tell him who you are, D. They don't know. Tell him who you are, D.
Hey, look, I can give you the stars, the sun, the moon, and the mountain for $30. I ain't trying. Listen, but no. Listen, if I send you 100, I send you 100. If I send you 30, I send you 30. But gosh, man, that just her entitlement is what's killing me in this. And I think that's what it feels manipulative, to say the least. So that for a person that would gladly send you $100, I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to do it if a sense that you're entitled. Or if I get that there's an expectation that you've created for me that I hadn't even created for myself. So at the end of the day, I mean, I can be sending you a kind gesture. You know what I'm saying? I think the gesture of sending money is kind. It's met with entitlement. Shit. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't take that so well. Whether it's 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, or 100. I mean, yeah.
Oh, you done heard it from the brother who said he'd give you the moon.
But guess what? It'll be the last $30 I see. I ain't gonna lie. I would have just took that L. Like, all right, bye. See you later.
He
Enjoy
said he
yourself.
give you the sun, moon, and stars with the $30.
Right. Two people can eat at Applebee's for $30. Like, what it is. I can make you a picnic basket for $30. And I can meet you at your lunch. We can meet up for lunch if you for 30 minutes.
All you got to do is stop at Williams, get you a 5-piece.
Shout out to Big Mike. Big Mike, you heard him? Big Mike stopping at Williams.
But for real,
Don't forget that strawberry drink.
Strawberry
Man,
soda. You can get 5 piece, 2
man,
strawberry sodas.
And
man, it's something about
jalapenos.
that strawberry drink,
And some
man.
corn fritters, because we're gonna need a dessert.
It's something about that. It's something about that stratberry soda. Man,
under
it just,
30.
Bring it.
Yeah, all
yeah.
that's under right. But we could have had a whole picnic for $30.
Well, I mean,
Get
y'all
on the
heard it here. I
subway and got
mean,
a foot long for $7.99. Just
Hey,
saying.
look,
well, we
here's
didn't
the
have
deal
enough
though.
Subways.
Here's the deal though. We also, I think it's easy to get on the woman here, but we got to check the man's intentions through that. You know what I'm saying? Is it a blind 30 or is it just a 30? Like, what is it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes dudes to do that to stunt. Like, I know
True,
it might be a
true.
little hard to stunt on with $30, but you know, at the end of the day, it's like sometimes dudes do that, just throw money at women just to show that they can do that. You know what I'm
True.
saying? It has more to do with them than it has to do with you. And so at the end of the day, it's one thing for me to know that or hear you talk about how expensive lunch has gotten. And I send you the money to take care of your lunch so you don't have to worry about that versus me just sending you money just to kind of say I can do that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense or no?
Yeah,
Right.
it does. It's like it. What you said is basically what your shirt said. Just do
Yeah, basically.
But
it. Look, before we
I get
before
$30.
What you say?
$30.
I said, Harris, if I get $30, we going to lunch, all right?
I
So
remember
look,
this.
before I move on, I got this one thing to say.
I'm not gonna bring my
Yeah,
lunch tomorrow.
yeah. Why
I ain't
is
got
it?
the $30.
Why
Oh,
is
you
it?
gonna get it.
Why is it? Why is it? You send your woman $30 and she thinks she got to feed her friend. Ain't that the Erica Badu thing y'all been talking about?
It's
Every
a
time we go
joke.
out, you got to bring
It's
your friend.
a joke.
See, that's what I'm talking about. No, it ain't no joke. The
Listen,
dude won't
nah.
ever know. The dude won't ever know. He won't ever know you took your friend or your lunch buddy to lunch on his money. I'm just saying. I'm just
Well,
saying. I'm just saying.
so would you rather her go with her homegirl or with another dude?
I mean,
Her
I'm sorry.
cousin.
I'd rather you not spend the money I send you on somebody else. I sent it to you, not them.
I'd rather me.
Thank you. That too. I'm just saying. Something
That's
about it.
if I can go. If I can't go, it really don't
If
bother
you
me. If I
if
can't
you
go, I don't
can't
mind.
go, but the only reason why you sending the money anyways is in a replacement of you.
No, it could be no, it's not necessarily a replacement of me. It's just that, well, babe, I want to buy you lunch today. So I'm gonna send you
Oh,
I
the
just want
money. So
want
I
you to
just
be
want to buy
real.
you lunch today.
then
That's
why
I
you
just
don't
want you.
buy it and bring it to me, or why you don't eat with me?
If I'm at work, I can't bring it to you, sweetie.
Okay, so again, it's an absent of you.
No, it's an absence of your hunger. I'm feeding
Nah,
Okay.
that's me the need. Look, I want you to be well nourished before you come home.
you. Yes,
Hey, come
yes.
home. Okay.
When
Come
you come
on.
home,
You to tell you,
don't
boy, he about giving you.
listen.
Look, let me tell y'all
I,
something.
I don't
D
need
is so
folks to be a
serious.
distraction.
Yeah, that's true. Let me tell you, D's so serious about he'll give you the stars, the sun, and the moon. Man, let me show y'all what I found. We have our own. I didn't even know this. I am so proud of this, brother. We have our own Black History person. We have somebody now we can talk about that I personally know for Black History. Y'all,
Yeah.
I found this on the World Wide Web. It says Team Zocom honors Darion Lewis. Black History Change Makers. Come on, Big D. Doing this Black History thing, bro. They celebrate in February. We have our own very, very own Black History Change Maker. Speech. Can we get a speech? I mean, you ain't even dead. You know, normally we talk about people that Black History has passed. You are alive and
Well,
kicking.
giving out praise ahead of my life. um, I didn't expect that though. For real, I really didn't even know that was even gonna happen. It was surprising, but man, I don't do anything I do for accolade, brother. I just try to do my part. That's all.
Nah, you good, bro. I just seen it, and you know what we do in private, I like to do in public. So, man, I definitely want to congratulate you. I've seen the things that you're doing with your organization, Mr. CEO, President. So I'm definitely proud of you. And what I'm most proud of, bro, you ain't changed you one bit. You are you all day long. So I appreciate you, fam. So with
Love
that
is
being
felt,
said,
man.
let's, huh?
Mm. I said the love is felt. I appreciate it, bro.
Already. So let's go get into it, man. This is what we're talking about. Topic of today's shows, it's time to let it go. It's time to let it
Mm.
go. It's spring cleaning time. Time to let it go. Old habits, bad behaviors, create new habits, create new memories. It's just time to let it go. And when I thought about this, I thought about it two different ways. One way is like this.
Most of our most significant breakthroughs that we will have in life is on the other side of significant change. And could it be, I submit to you, I hope I'm not meddling. Could it be that your most significant breakthrough at this season of your life is contingent on a change you're too afraid to make?
Mm.
Yes. And if that statement has any truth in it, you're the blame. This is not God hindering you. Hear me. And this ain't the devil blocking you. Paralyzed by fear of the unknown. And I am telling you, the most significant, rewarding change you could ever make is on the other side of the thing that you fear to let go.
So yes, I looked at it from the what I call the biblical side. There are some people who are been doing the same thing, same creating the same habit, not really looked at themselves to actually change, and they're afraid to step out on faith to make a move. I can even use Webby. When I first met Webby, and she decided she said she was going to choose to follow God. And when you look at her now, she just showed you she got 2 degrees on the wall. She can tell you all the accolades that she gets at work. She can tell you all the things that people see the leadership in her that the other school didn't see in her. Um, so that's one thing. And if she was fear of the unknown to step out and make that change, would she be where she is now? That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is maybe it's some behaviors and some bad habits that you have. It's just time for you to let go. You keep telling yourself you're stagnant, you want to move on, you want to move closer, you want to do this, you got things you want to accomplish, but you're still doing the same things. You haven't tried to change up those habits. You haven't tried to change your way of thinking, change seeing it from the other side, whatever the case may be. And then the other side we can speak to this through would be maybe you in something and it's time to let you go. It's time for you to let that person go because it just ain't working out. You done had all the conversations, you done had all the talk, did this, did that, went to counseling, whatever the case may be. But now at this time, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to create something else new somewhere else. And for some reason, you're staying stagnant and won't step out and step away. Right? So what y'all think? We can start with where y'all want to start. But there's a couple, 3 ways, and there's one other way, but I'll bring that to you after we talk about these. But anybody can start. What do you think?
I'll go. So I'll speak to the first one where you was talking about you use me as the example, but look at myself, you hadn't thought about being in education. That's not your degree. That's not what you
Nope.
have your what you went to school for.
All
Or
right.
baby mama, you stepped out, you did a change, and now you one of the district dyslexia teachers. I finished my second degree not knowing, I thought I was going to be a teacher for the next 20 years, and somebody put a bug in my ear and was like, you sure you don't want to be a counselor or a principal? And back then I was like, yeah, principal, y'all can miss me. And here it's resurfacing again, and I'm still shaking on them waters, but that's neither here nor there. D. Lou getting commiserated for making Black history, and yes, you on this side of the earth, of the ground,
Yes, sir.
and not underground, and being acknowledged. So we do have to get to a point where we don't allow fear to control us, or we just finally say, okay, I'm gonna update my resume today, or I'm gonna start that business today, or I'm a DJ and see where it takes me, and just being free to do that. I think with letting go comes with a level of freedom. And in counseling, and then I'm gonna leave it alone, they teach us that people have the biggest struggle with being free, which we already have. We have freedom, which for whatever reason, whether it be trauma or fear or whatever, we choose not to exercise our freedom. And we have the freedom to let things go. We have the freedom to make changes in our life for whatever reason. We're just, I don't want to say choosing, because some people, they're without the choice. They're without the choice, or their starting line is further back than everyone else's. So that's my little tidbit on that part. I said a lot. Sorry.
Okay. Anybody else jump in?
Come on, baby mama.
I'm just like,
You on mute, boo.
That was good. You did good.
baby
I'm
mom, you out of practice. I see.
no, I
Y'all,
had
you
a
processing.
yeah, because I almost teared up for real, for real.
Sorry.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
okay.
good. That was good.
Okay.
I could say a lot, but I yeah, no.
Jules, what is your 2 cents?
I agree with Webby. Like sometimes we allow our fear to cripple us. You know, we do have free will and free choice, and I think the fear of failure sometimes grounds us, and not really grounds us, but what do you call it? Like it
Pigeonhole.
straps you, ball chains you, pigeonholes you to a position or to a role in your life, that because you're comfortable and you know the outcomes, you know what the expectations are. But when it comes to like challenging yourself, it's always difficult. Like growth is hard. Growth is not easy, and it's painful to go through, and it's very rewarding, but it's a challenge. You have to step out of your comfort zone in order to get that next level. And you gotta trust God. You have to have, for me personally, I looked at that early on in my career as something really challenging. But once I gave it to God and didn't think about, am I qualified for this? Can I really do this? I just at some point I just allowed God to lead it, because he kept putting me in positions that what I wasn't qualified for, that I wasn't degreed for, that I didn't have the experience, but he put the right people around me to train me and mold me and sculpt me and help me. But I also had to have
You
that
better
will and that
preach.
wanting to go get it. You know what I mean? Like not and do it scared, do it scared. That's my whole thing. You have to
Mm,
do things with the fear. You know what I'm saying? Let that fuel you into moving forward and achieving what God has for you. Whatever it is, and then going there like I want this, and this. But God got this and this. A lot of times God's blessing is way greater than whatever you could imagine.
mm. Okay, I like that. The fact that you said go with the fear. A lot of people don't do that. We get fearful and we flee because it's unknown or it's different or it's uncomfortable or whatever, whatnot. They say if you're doing something and it's real stagnant and you good, then you're not doing any growing. But when it's uncomfortable, it means you're doing something right or you're what they say, you're about to enter into your season. where your harvest is about to is going to supply you with everything that you've been wanting and needing. D, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, I think everybody so far has articulated it great. I don't know how much more I can add to what I already been said, but one of the things we have to confront is what are we afraid of? I think you got to ask yourself that question, especially if you are paralyzed, um, and you're not like if the fear is causing you to be paralyzed, and you lack motivation, or you're not able to actually take that next step. Something is causing you not to take it, and it's fear. So I think, in essence, it's just important to understand that God didn't give us a spirit of fear. And instead, power, love, and a sound mind. But in addition to that, fear is also a sign of reverence. It can be defined as reverence as well. And I was listening to this podcast of this pastor. He was talking about this, but he was basically outlining how, like, what if we replace fear with thanksgiving? Like to the point where we start living from a place of thanksgiving and thankfulness, right? What are we actually thankful for? And I think I entered that place today. I had a hard conversation today at work that was just taken away. It was bothering me, and typically this conversation with this individual has bothered me for a while now, especially with some of the conversations that we've had or the lack of understanding that is presented in those. And I found myself fearful to even say anything because I don't know how this person is going to internalize it. So if you can imagine like someone you lead that takes everything you say literal and use your words against you, and it can cause you to be fearful in the spot where you don't want to say something that comes back on you in a way that's unfair to you. So you don't, in essence, you don't feel safe, right? So when I actually asked a question that I probably wouldn't have ever asked. Like I know for a fact I wouldn't have asked probably a month and a half or 2 months ago, but I asked that question today with courage, and I felt like, yo, like let me celebrate that. Like let me celebrate the fact that I actually took a step in the right direction. And it's those small wins that overcome those fears. Like, but it's chopping wood. You got to stay with it, and you got to keep. You gotta. A lot of times in the areas where we're feared, or more than like, or at least where fear exists, are oftentimes the areas where we lack some faith and some confidence, and also um, areas where we don't know how to celebrate ourselves. And so, yeah, that's why I think that everybody's hit it out the park. I don't really know how much more I can add to it, but yeah, that would be my thought.
Okay. So let's switch it up to time to let it go. Time to let go some of your bad behaviors. It's smart. We're halfway through the year. And what is it that's keeping you complacent? Because some people are complacent, and as you say, they're scared of change. But then you're not changing, is not getting you anywhere because of your bad habits or your old baggage or something that you just keep having something linger around. Why we keep holding on to this stuff? Why can't we just let it go? We want to move forward, but you can't move forward, as they say, cliche, looking back in the review mirror.
People are comfortable in dysfunction because that's what they know.
Mm.
And to do anything outside of that is too much.
Chaos.
It's chaos and it's too much for them. I was gonna say asinine, but that wasn't, I mean, even though it's applicable, but that's not the word I wanted to use. They can't fathom change. It's just like a family, and I put my disclaimer out there because there's nothing wrong with it, who for generations have used government assistance. in all realms, whether it be food stamps, TANF, Medicaid, housing. So we are 30 years in using food stamps, government assistance, but nobody says, hey, maybe I just go get a job. Just stop. That sounds crazy to us because that's all we know is to work. But for some people, that's what they know is to seek, fill out applications, and get government assistance. And they do it for years on end, generations on end. Or on another extreme, people who work 9 to 5, and you've been talking about you want to have a rainbow business. I know that's not real, and you've been talking about it for the last 10 years and never do it because you're in a chokehold with your 9 to 5.
That's interesting. You say it's dysfunction. They like living in dysfunction. Some people don't even believe that they are dysfunction, which is the crazy thing to me. Baby mom, you still process?
She gone. I don't know what happened.
Okay. But that's the crazy thing. Like some people will like. There's moments where there's some people that I've known people to and like Deep said, have those uncomfortable conversations with because I want to have this conversation with you, but it don't matter. It does not matter what I say. You're gonna try to still make it my fault. I can have all the receipts. I can have all the information I need that leads to the accountability and responsibility of you. But no matter what I say, it's gonna be my fault. So to me, that's dysfunction. And then you bask in that dysfunction, and you want somebody to. Sometimes and this could be family members. You want me to love you in this dysfunction, but it's just like not but because that takes away from everything. Nevertheless, you can't hear anything that I'm saying because you have this thing. We just had this conversation Saturday. I won't ever understand when somebody tells me playing or not. I have to decide which is which. But to hear the phrase of "I'm always right," you're always right. So you've never been wrong in your life. You always right. And when I hear that, my thing is that so you must be Jesus' sister or Jesus' brother. Because I mean, you can't just be the only one on earth who's never been wrong. And why you have such a hard time understanding that in this instance, you're wrong. We try to paint a picture of so many um we paint a picture of things, but we don't never stand back and stand in the other person's shoes to give it any thought of what they're saying. Now I know maybe in a heated discussion, you're not thinking that rational. Cool. It maybe has to come down after 10 decimals for you to be like, oh, okay, I heard what you said. What I mean, even with that thought, it's just like, how do you walk around and know that you just always right and there's no dysfunction about you?
Because they're living in dysfunction.
But I say that probably being rhetorical because you have to reflect on yourself to know if there's times you have to sit there and be like, you know what, that was wrong. I shouldn't have did that.
But who's making okay, but I hear you, but who that person is saying there's nothing wrong with me, and who are you to say that there is something wrong? Who are you to say that there is dysfunction in my world? You get what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
So if I'm assuming that I'm always right, or I believe this doctrine or this ideology that I'm always right, you can't tell me otherwise. So no, I'm not going to sit and reflect and say, oh, well, yeah, that was jacked up what I did, because I believe wholeheartedly with my chest, everything that I do and say is right. I'm not saying I'm like that, but I've known people who are like that, and they believe it with their chest that they are always right until life happens.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you said it until life started happening. Then you realize, oh, I was wrong. Oh, I should have did this. Oh, I should have changed that. Okay. So let me add this to Ashley. Oh, go ahead. I thought you were finna say something, Jules.
I was just gonna say that, everybody don't self-reflect. Everybody don't go back and revisit that conversation that they had with everybody, or any, whether the last conversation they had, or until, until something happens that causes them to reflect. A lot of people just don't do it on a normal basis. So you can't expect them to be like, oh, I was wrong. No, they didn't even think about it. And they done moved on to the next thing and they keep moving. It's just dysfunction. In general, you have to be one of those people who is about growth within yourself. And that's when you tend to self-reflect, or you have a therapist who has you in a phase or zone of self-reflection, accountability for your actions and things like that.
Yeah,
It's the same
self-reflect.
thing when people say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, D-Lou. I'm so sorry."
Go for it. You said you got it.
You go.
Okay, self-reflection is a discipline. You know, it's something that we have to do, and some of us, it's I've understood as we kind of internalize fear, um, and while we have it, sometimes we have fear because we lack structure. We're not clear on what we're supposed to be doing, how we're supposed to be doing it, and the way it's supposed to be done. uh we're not clear on like what our goals are, what paths to take to get there. um some of us are just like, hey, look, I just know I'm called to do this thing, but this thing ain't as clear right now for me. And sometimes the only way to get clarity on that thing is actually just start moving in it. um and sometimes it's just the fear to take that step, because it's, again, the fear of the unknown. And the fear of the unknown causes well, it ultimately paralyzes people, and it keeps people in a space of unknowing, because we haven't taken the step forward. And so to let go, right? Time to let go. Um, Sometimes we got to let go of seasons. Um, there was a season of our life where we were all like for example, there was a season of college life, right? At some capacity, right? And we had behaviors that were associated with college. Webby was drinking all that blue juice. But the thing is just one of them, you know, like at some level, right? Like if you were on what you were on in college, now in this season, like, or at the very least, you had the mentality, right, that you had, as it pertains to connect, well, at least connected to behaviors that were befitting for that season. If you try to bring those behaviors into this season, you might run into some conflict or some misalignment, or
Yes, sir. Yes,
some
sir.
things that may challenge you to actually let those things go. And sometimes it's not always negative things that we got to let go. Sometimes it's the things that we absolutely love and that was like absolutely a great thing for that season, but just because it was great, we feel like it's supposed to exist in the next season. And sometimes the great thing that was great in this season is not great or aligned for the season that's up next for you. Can you let it go, or do you fear letting it go, even if it was a great job that pays extremely well, even if it was a relationship that brings you a bunch of pleasure, even if it was whatever it is, right? Like, are you willing to let go in order to receive? And sometimes letting go, ultimately creating the capacity for you to receive what you're supposed to receive in the next situation.
Mm.
It's so yeah, some of the doors remain open. It ain't even that they're closed. They remain open. It's just the fact that you can't close the door to the thing that you're supposed to close the door to in order to walk into the next one. So yeah, that's just my thought.
That was a word.
For sure. So let's put a twist on it. So I thought about this, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'll give you the background why I thought about this. First of all, shout out to Jules, because when we had our meeting, she thought of this type subject. But I wanted to bring a twist to it. Because some of us always say, it's time to let go of this, it's time to let go of that, it's time to let go of this and be it this person, that person, or let go of this friendship, let go of this job, let this go, things of that nature, let go of this, da 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 da. But my twist is, what is it, or why is it? I think I'm wearing this right. What do you do when it's you that need to let go? Let me put that, and let me put that in. Well, let me frame that how I thought about it. I thought about the situation, and D knows the situation where I was with a young lady, engaged, but fast forward, she told me, why she loved this and that. And I never forget sitting there as quote unquote, we having this closure conversation. And she said, this sucks. And I was like, wow. I said, yeah, it does suck. Right. And she was like, no, not like that. Like, I understand what I'm doing to you. She said, what I'm saying is the same way I'm doing you is the same reason, is the same way somebody did me. So, when I looked at the title and I was creating what's that, it made me think about this. It made me think about, what if she didn't have enough courage to say, I gotta walk away from you. Because who you are, I'm not ready for. The relationship that you want, I'm not ready for. And I'm just not there. I think about how much, whether she was coerced or not, I don't know. But how much courage do you have to have in order to walk away from this person? Let's say you spent about 6 months with it. My situation was more than 6 months. But this person is a good person. This person is going to excel in a lot of things they're doing. And you love this person. But downright that you are not ready to be in that relationship that he or she wants you to be in. But you don't let it go. And then that's my thing. What would have happened if she didn't do that? What would have happened if she didn't follow and then let me go? Where would I be? Because I never forget, we was in Plano, and we were sitting at Mike's birthday party, I believe, and everybody was gone, and me and D was having a conversation. Yeah, I was totally messed up. We was having a conversation, and D was like, "Bro, that was a blessing." At that time, I couldn't see it, because all I could see was, "Bro, I done put in work. Like, I did it right this time." And it's like, "Oh, bro, I was broke." When I tell you I was broke, my cousin would tell you I lost my cousin for almost 2.5 months. My T-John would tell you I was just totally gone. I go to work, come home. Go to work, come home. I was mad at God. I was mad at myself. It was a lot of emotions going on, right? But then I thought about, this whole the subject we talking about. And I'm sorry I'm long-winded, but it made me think, what if it's you that ain't right? Because we so quick to let somebody else go, but what if it's you? You're the problem why it won't work. You're the issue. You're the dysfunction. You're not, you keep talking about you ready, but you're not ready. But you're still doing it. And sometimes when we do this, and I'll say this part and I'll shut up. Sometimes when we do that, we make people casualties of our own hurt. And that's not cool. And the crazy thing is the dude or the woman you let go still wants to stay with you. But you got, at this point, at this junction in your life, if this is step in the relationship, you gotta walk away. How do you do it?
I'm gonna chime in on that because you kind of answered your own question. And I feel like when you have a person like that in your life where you see that they are, they good for you, they doing well, and you're not in the right space for them, that you're going to hurt them. And it's going to break them in a way. So it's better to just be honest and be straightforward. so that you give them the option to leave. And if they don't leave, it is no longer on you. You know, I feel like you have to give them the option to make a choice, just like you would want the option for you to make a choice, you know? And a lot of times, maybe they may stay because they feel like, you know, you're the best thing that they've had, or that it's not as bad as you think it is. And I was
Oh, you.
at the gate so that you don't intentionally hurt them.
But the hurt, but even with the situation, well, in my situation, the hurt was already done because you would say one thing somewhere else, and we can just use me. That's cool. I'm not tripping. You said one thing when you said around my people, but then you get around your other people, it was a totally different conversation. Even one on one, the conversation was tough. And you go back to what you said, that was totally like, I've never been in a relationship like this, or even the dude before me. You used to have to. He was in and out, in and out, in and out. But here is this person who's actually putting in the work and actually trying to get to know you and wants to get to know you, want to take the journey of life with you. And I understand you said it, and I do agree with you. If you don't say it or if you don't do it, then yeah, you can hurt them. But you hurting them anyway. Period. I would believe. And like I said, Jules, with everything you said, I definitely agree with. Like, you have to know yourself. So you're exactly right. I just wanted to put that, I wanted to be like, well, when you said it was like, yeah, I know, but that person already hurt. You done did the damage. And I think we do
And
that in a lot of situations. Go ahead, D.
so you got to be self-aware. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know.
But how do
um,
you know? How do you know, bro? How do you
oh
know?
no, and like, you know you know how you're behaving, right? So how I would say this. I remember time before marriage, getting to know this young lady. She telling me, "Yo, I feel like I told my mom that I felt like I might have met my husband." And well, that's a strong thing to say to me. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? One, I didn't take that with pressure because I actually liked her. But right after that, I started seeing her character because I mean, my lens shifted because obviously she's thought about a future with me at a different capacity, and I'm trying to see, do I see that? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, ultimately, to turn out that she is or was I haven't talked to her in a long time. I don't know, but at the time she was also still very attached to a married guy
Mm.
and still in a way that would suggest that she's deeply in love with this guy. So if you can like stop this encounter to say, one, I feel like I might have met the guy that I could possibly spend the rest of my life with, but I'm still to the idea that the one that I've still been like messing around with could
Mhm.
possibly his wife or me, which that never happened. So it's like one of those things where it's just a lot of confusion. And so like more than anything, it's very difficult to be with someone who's confused or get to know someone who's confused about their own situation, about the and their
Mm.
own right? And their behaviors are reflecting that. And when they're confused, they're not self-aware of what they're actually doing. And you don't know because the person you're thinking that the person is you're investing time, you're investing money, you're investing resources.
Mhm.
Um, and you don't know what you don't know about the situation, right? Until you actually know. And when you know, right, it sucks. Yeah, it sucks because I've invested all of these things, but there
Mhm.
is a such thing as a poor investment. And
Mm.
just like that own that situation that they gotta own their part in it. I gotta own the fact that this was a poor investment and I wasted this was not a good use to my time. This wasn't a good use of my money. And we do that practically in life from time to time where we realize, like, dang, I don't know if you've ever bought something that it looked great. Like, I want this. This is it. Blah 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 blah. But after you spend that money for it and you get it, you realize it's not all what you thought it would be.
Mm.
And it
Buyer's
wasn't.
remorse.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's like buyer's remorse, right? We can have investment remorse in relationships or situationships or
Mm.
particular people that we were getting to know, and you can just literally be like, dang, like, I didn't buy this person, but I did invest in this person, something that was in me,
Mm-hmm.
that I can't get back. And I got to understand that, hey, look, I just got to count that loss and I got to keep pushing. But it doesn't change the fact that it sucks. So
Man.
I hope that.
Webby, go ahead.
No, I mean, D. Lou said a lot. So, like, to piggyback on what you were saying, Tricky, about what would have happened if y'all would have stayed. What would have happened? Would that just be, so you would have gotten what you thought you wanted from this individual, and then it would have been turmoil and chaos possibly, because she would have just been going along with the get along to satisfy you, when she knew, just based on, what was being told, she knew that she wasn't good for you at that time. That doesn't mean that you weren't a good person.
Mm-hmm.
I've had somebody tell me that, like, I was talking to this gentleman that I kind of like. Did I necessarily see him as a husband per se? No, but I liked him. And he was like, "You'll be a good wife one day." And I got offended because I was like, "But I like you right now." And I had to realize he knew where he stood with me, and I
Mm-hmm.
was getting ready to create a whole idea that didn't exist with this man who didn't want to be what I wanted him to, what I wanted. I'll just say that, not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
wanted him to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and I think I've shared this story with you before. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to make this dude a boyfriend who didn't want to be a boyfriend. And he knew that he didn't, but that didn't stop him from seeing who I was. But what it did do is he was getting ready to start trying to use me for his benefit. And so once I recognized that, I cut it off. It wasn't no distancing. It was just straight, like,
Right.
chop.
Right.
Even though he recognized that he wasn't good for me, he was going to continue to go on knowing
Mm-hmm.
that he wasn't good for me. So he was in a place in his life where he was going to take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying, like, she could have possibly taken advantage of you had she just been going along with the get along. And me and this guy wasn't nowhere near trying to get married. I just like the dude.
Right. Right.
And I think to go along with what you said when you said the idea, like so it's like we have these conversations to see, or as y'all would say, vetting, to see, if this person is, hey, okay, maybe I can do something with this person. But then the narrative that's being built is that you can do something with this person, but the actions that you have are totally different from what you're saying. So it was just like, so in my situation, it was like, I hear what you're saying over here, but then when you get over here, you're a totally different person. So now it's like, okay. And then, of course, as y'all would say, communicate. Yep, I had the conversation, and it was this, and the third. Um, and trust me, I have receipts. And so it was shocking that one day, all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, it was just that. And I was just like, I've set up with you many a nights talking about this very thing. And your conversation is totally this. But now it's like now you actually have to be in the midst of what you said you wanted, or what you asked for, or what some people say they pray for, or I've been wanting this, or I've never had this before, or nobody's ever treated me, whatever cliches we use. But then when it gets real, let's just put, call a thing. When it gets real, then it's kind of like, oh, uh, uh, well, nah. I mean, man, I ain't know it's gonna be like this. I ain't know I was gonna have to do this. I was gonna know I have to do that. I know I was gonna have to change that. So it's kind of like, did you lie to yourself before
Is
you
it
ever step to the other person?
is it possible, speaking on your situation, that she
All right.
always knew?
Does she what?
She always knew.
Possibly. Possibly.
Well,
Now, as I say,
okay.
the conversation was never that way.
It wasn't
It
going to be.
yeah,
Okay.
it
She
was
was going
manipulative.
because she was going to convince herself otherwise.
Mm.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
and
saying. It's like, so you in a relationship and you know you are the problem. But if it's like D said, and like y'all said earlier, which is why I waited to have this conversation last, you said something about dysfunction. So that's what I'm saying. If you know you are dysfunctional, if you know you got 1,001 things wrong, and you have not totally started your healing process, now you out here bleeding on everybody. And I know, you just never know. You know what I'm saying? You do your best trying to vet who people are. And I get that point. So I'm not tripping about that. And I'm not saying in my situation, I didn't have a part to play. I'll say I did. Maybe what I thought was there was not there. You know what they say? You know, devils pray too. So everything that, we think is from God might not be God. It might be the devil. I mean, we use those cliches or whatever, but it was just, I just think some people walk around and you know you're the problem. You know you're the problem. But instead of just being, as we say, real, and just saying, look, I know who you are, D. I know what you want, and I like you and I want to be with you. But I'm just not, for what you have to offer, I know I'm not ready for it.
And I
right.
I believe that takes a big person to just say that out loud.
and maybe that individual, I don't know them, just
Hmm.
didn't have capacity.
Right.
Mm.
And not
Right.
that they were living in dysfunction, because I don't know this person, so I can't say that they were dysfunctional. But
Oh, nah. She was
maybe they
cool. She
just
was cool.
didn't have capacity for what you wanted and or needed at that time. Now, would it have been great for that individual to have shared that with you and said, "Hey, I like you. I would love to marry you one day. Not right now. This and that and the third." It could have said a whole bunch. It could have said a whole bunch of things, but they didn't.
Right, right,
Get
right, right, right,
along with the get along for as long as they could.
right. I got you.
Not
D, what
excusing
you finna say?
the
Oh,
behavior.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
I said not excusing the behavior.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was hurtful, but eventually you had to get over it. It was just, and I guess for me, being totally transparent and vulnerable, because I know I did it wrong the first time, right? I know I didn't have the conversation. I know I didn't do a lot of things that were right. So in this time, I I I made that promise to me and God that as I go forward, I'm gonna do it right. I'm not gonna do certain things that I did before. And I'm not and I'm saying that's for me. I'm not saying that for the other party that was involved when I used to be married. But I knew it was certain things that I had to reflect on myself and be like, you know what? We gotta do this differently. If we want a different outcome, we gotta do this differently. And there's some things you gotta change about you, bro. Period. Go ahead, D.
No, I mean, that's what you celebrate, though. I mean, if you can walk away from a situation knowing that you can stand before the Lord and say, I completely honored that situation the right way,
Mhm.
then you can peace. You know what I'm saying? The issue is sometimes that we are married to the ideal of a person without a formal proposal. Let that sink
Please,
in.
please expound on that. I like that. I tell people all the time, people like the idea, well, a long time ago, not now, but I used to believe people like the idea of being with me, not necessarily being with me, because Tricky and Gregory are two totally different people.
Yeah, I'm married to the idea. I found value in you in some capacity where that idea of who you are in my mind is what I'm attracted to versus
Mm,
who you actually are. And it sometimes it can blind me from ultimately seeing who you are and what you are doing for me in my life, or at the very least, how you're um impacting my life. I think the behaviors and the actions are the form of proposal before the proposal. Like you're
mm,
showing me in so many ways who you are and how you behave and how you respond to certain things. Right. At that
mhm,
point, I choose to accept that, right? Or to say, no, this is not for me. I think it's best I go in a different direction. You know what I mean? And I know we want the person to have self awareness, to be aware of themselves enough to be able to say, "Hey, I'm not a good fit. I mean, I'm not really in a good spot. I need to let you be, right?" But what part of you, right? You have control in this thing too. What part
mhm,
of you this is not a good fit? And oftentimes that's where fear creeps in because we can't see ourselves without them, which speaks more to the idea of them than the actual reality of them that is
mhm,
detrimental to who you are becoming. Um, and that's loaded. But the reality is, it's just kind of one of those things where you have to consider that you have ownership and you have control over who you are, right?
mhm,
And what you will and will not accept. Um, and bottom line, like, yeah, again, we want people to be self-aware enough to know that I don't want to play with you. I'll actually just let you go about your way.
mhm.
But that's so we're dealing. We just had a conversation about the difference between somebody sending $30 and $100. If that's a situation, if that person, think about that person. If that person is not satisfied that someone thought about them enough to send them some money so that they can enjoy a really good lunch on the $30, right? What makes you think they're self-aware enough to know that they may be a problem? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
God.
I, entitlement blocks you from really seeing who you are.
mm,
Entitlement can block you from seeing who you are. Um, and 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 so I'll say all that to say, look, man, like, um, what a person is proposing to you through their behaviors, through their actions, through their words, right?
mhm.
Uh, you have to be able to assess if it's right, if it aligns, right? And
Yes, sir.
from there, make a decision on if that's for you or if it's not, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah, I
and
heard.
and
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's all.
Mm-mm, keep going.
I'm done. I think
No,
that's
no, no. You good.
yep.
Mm. And I was just gonna just go with a part that you said. Um, I forgot how they put it. Oh, they put it that because I said something about, well, I don't at this point in my life, I don't need anybody. I've been doing me for so long. It's the point that I want somebody. So and what they said to me, what they said to me, she said, that's what makes you a good candidate to be in a relationship because you want to share your life with somebody. You're not making it an option. The option is for you to share your life with somebody. You made that decision. You made the choice because relationships are definitely about choice. We say it all the time. Getting up every day, going to work is a choice. Being on the show is a choice. Doing it, everything else that you do is a choice, and you have to be able to make that choice. And once you make that choice and you actually commit and steadfast on that, then that's when I believe when you said the fear kind of dwindles away. within whatever the situation you're in or the relationship that you're in. I don't know. Possibility, but I thought of that way. So let's do it. You know what it is. It's time for the 2 minute drill. That's when you get the last 2 cents. Oh, go ahead. What you say? Oh, I thought somebody was saying something. This is when you get the last 2 minutes of what we're talking about. Today was about, man, look, we talking about time to let it go. Time to let that job go and step out. Time to let that person go. Man, look, it's time to let that issue go. Time to let some of your bad behaviors go. Think about it. Think about it. And the key words that that everybody said tonight was self-aware and being reflective. Ms. Hyde said sometimes people may stay to see if things will change. They are used to jumping ship, but they are not trying to make it now, but they are now trying to make it work, not knowing it's really hurting the relationship. I did. There's nothing worse than investing your time and energy into a relationship person and it's not being reciprocated. I definitely agree. Yeah. All right, Lil Webby, let's do it. 2 minutes.
Hey y'all, it's been good tonight. I don't have 2 minutes, but I got two things: being self-aware, reflective. I lied, I have more than two things. And just stepping out on faith, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's the job, the new boo, you know, doing some self-reflecting and rebuilding on yourself. So just do you and make it work. It's 2024. And of course, bring back RB in 2024.
Oh,
I'm
Lord,
with
have mercy. We bring it all back.
you. It's like a dream. Let's go.
Hey.
Let's go.
So my 2 cents. The truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth. Low hanging fruits can be plucked by everyone. So look, man, what I want to tell you is be a high value fruit. Make somebody put in some work to reach up to grab you, so they'll understand it's worth it. And the truth, if you're not a person that can be truthful with yourself, my mother used to always say, it ain't who you are in front of me, it's who you are when you're not with me, is what I think about. And if I can't trust you or who you are, that you're going to be the same person that you are in front of me, then away from me, then with that being said, I can't trust you. So I always stayed with me in college. I always thought about it. I've disappointed her one time in my life that I could think of. And when I tell you it was the worst moment and feeling I ever had. So yeah. But I had to learn in life, we're gonna disappoint each other. But we need to be better about not making the big my analogy is not making the big picture the disappointment. Make that the frame, but make the big picture the resolution. D.
Yeah, man. I don't have 2 minutes, but I got two things.
Let's go.
I said like I like that. I like that phrase. Um, what we just started saying. Oh no. My challenge will be consider the things that you actually want in your life. Consider all of those things that you feel like the Lord has shown you and that you ultimately desire for your life, right? And then consider praying and self-reflecting on the things that may exist on the inside of you. That if those things did not exist, it probably would unlock like all the desires of your heart and the things that you want. Um, what are the things that are holding you back from getting all the things that God has in store for you? That's the question you got to ask yourself. With the consideration of all the things that you know that you saw for yourself, and things that you can't even imagine that's waiting on you. So I truly believe that there's some waiting on all of us. I think there's amazing things, abundant things that are in store for us. But sometimes there are things on the inside of us that are keeping us away from it. And so, yeah, that would be my encouragement. Yep.
Done deal, man. Look, I appreciate it, man. Everybody who joined, definitely put in your 2 cents. Thank you, thank you. I definitely appreciate the crew. I could never do it without them. So I thank them for just blessing me with their time. Speaking of blessing, man, you know how we do it. We start one way, we got to end the same. So D, will you take us out?
Yeah, sure thing. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for your love, your grace, and your mercy that allows us to be able to do this call and not only do it, but do it in a way that honors you. God, we all have had our unique things that we've experienced, whether it's us who are talking or whether those who are listening. We pray, God, that we don't deal with those things silent, that we don't allow those things to plague us to the point where we build general assumptions on the world and ourselves and others to the point where we can't live from a place of love, receive love, and be the demonstration of your love towards others. I ask God if there's anything that's on the inside of us that's prohibiting us from really truly receiving everything you have for us, we pray that God, you take those things away. We pray, God, that you would give us your daily bread and that let us consider that each day you give us new mercies, not in a way that's manipulative or that we should continue in sin that grace may abound, but really like to a place where we're not so hard on ourselves and that we understand that each day we're in need of a savior and we need you. So with all of that said, God, we thank you so much for this time. We thank you for this call. We thank you for every listener. We thank you for every perspective and every thought that came out of it. We pray that you may be glorified. It's in your son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Ooh.
Think big, believe in God because he believes in us. And you know, I live by two mantras. Faith and fear cannot dwell in the same place. And while you're on this side, till you get to the other side, remember to always love, live, laugh. Look, man, we're going to go out with a oldie but a goodie. And I'm doing this for a reason. It is March Madness. We celebrating these Pisces. And I have to celebrate my Pisces. He goes by the name of Mr. Johnny H. Harrington. He is my father, my dad, my best friend. Some days I miss him. Some days I wish I could talk to him. But today, I promise you, I'm gonna celebrate you, pops. So happy belated birthday! His birthday's tomorrow. We're gonna take it out with his favorite, the woman, only woman I know that he would left my mama for. Her name is Anita Baker. Have a good night.
I've been on I've been satisfied with just a piece of this heart. Life Feel my Something's gonna do. You're so tender to You're my Still unseen. Each day I need to remember. Don't say you're right on giving. Baby, we're going to You're my husband. Oh my husband. My just won't keep still. No doubt about it that this love I feel is real. Ask me to go with it. It's a oh, you get real when you make it alright. Just know that I am special to you. I am your man. You're my that my heart just won't keep still. No doubt about it that this love I feel is real. Ask me to go with you. It's a oh, you get real when you make it alright. Just know that I am special to you. I am your man. You're my
That's all, folks.